Hi, my name is Victoria McGuffin, and I'm a resident of Marshall Township since 1985. I'm a professor at Michigan State University in the Department of Chemistry, and I would really like to address today the issue concerning the properties that you're asking to transfer. I know there are a lot of other concerns that people have about the whole Ford plant with the batteries being produced, but I think the land transfer is what we're dealing with today, and I want to address that specifically. So first I want you to know that my background, I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, and I worked at an environmental research group in Ann Arbor for 3 summers and quite a period of time in the area of water and wastewater analysis. My PhD in chemistry is from Indiana University. I was a postdoctoral scholar at Stanford. At Michigan State, my research is in the area of environmental chemistry, environmental forensics, and environmental analysis. I have more than 120 publications in peer-reviewed journals in these areas. I also serve on the editorial boards of many of these professional journals. I'm an invited expert on committees from Michigan's Department of Environmental Quality. And so I'm a recognized expert in this area. And what I want to say is based on a lifetime of experience in environmental chemistry, more than 45 years. The Kalamazoo River Watershed is the most important watershed in southwest Michigan. It's the source of the surface water and the groundwater in all of our areas. The land along C Drive directly abuts this river. This land has ample organic matter in the soil and far less clay than any of our other farmlands. This is important because it makes for wonderful farmland. If you drive down C Drive, all of those farms are being farmed on purpose. Right? And Michigan State originally built Bear Creek Farms in the 40s as an experimental farm because of the quality of that land. Now, the same thing that makes this wonderful farmland makes it a lousy, not a good site for a manufacturing plant. Why? Because the soil with that high organic content has very high permeability, which means that materials transport through it far more often and far more quickly than they will transport through soil that is heavy laden in clay, which is the bulk of the rest of our township, to be blunt. We can't talk just about the materials that make up the batteries. We can't just talk about lithium and iron and phosphate. I don't want to talk with you about the other things, but I need to point out that there are raw materials, there are solvents, there are intermediates, there are waste products, there are byproducts, as well as the final products, and all of these are sources of pollution. At this point in time, to position any manufacturing plant near a natural water source, whether it's a river, whether it's a lake, whether it's a marsh, whether it's an aquifer, any of these things is an environmental risk, and it's irresponsible. Ford has agreed to a 240-acre conservation easement along the riverside. However, putting that easement in will not change the migration of pollutants through the area. I need to rephrase that. Will not change the migration of molecules through the watershed. The nature of a watershed is that materials go towards the river. It wouldn't be called the watershed if it didn't migrate in that direction. Having an area of 240 acres at the river edge will not change that. You only have to look at Midland and what's happened to the Tittabawassee River over time. And even here in Marshall, how we've dealt with a one-time point source discharge of oil and how many years it's taken us to clean it up, right? So here's my point about these properties. If you vote to transfer these properties from Marshall Township to the city of Marshall, we, and I mean not only the residents and the citizens of this area, but also you board members who've been elected or perhaps appointed to represent us, we lose our voice about this land. We lose our influence, we lose our power, and we lose the ability to protect this vulnerable but really vital natural resource, both for ourselves and for generations to come. There are many other properties in Marshall Township that are more suitable for this venture. There are far more properties that are suitable for this venture. I ask that you withhold your support for the transfer of this property until the right property can be found. One that does not risk our natural resources in this way. I want to end, since I have apparently a minute left, I want to take a quote for you. It's from Aldo Leopold. It's 2 sentences. We abuse land because we see it as a commodity belonging to us. When we see land as a community to which we belong, we begin to use it with love and respect.